Okay guys, welcome back. In the last video, the last couple of videos, so we did the about section for the homepage, but then we also, in the last video, created a new helper function to define ACF buttons. And if you remember going back to this about video, we also created some custom ACF fields for color. So when we go in here, we created these where we're dynamically populating any field with the value of BG color or just color with a U, Australian, British English spelling. It will populate with our custom, with our values for us to be able to pick them easily. We could have flexed these and made them, go across, but I'm just going to leave them as a list for the sake of this tutorial. I'm not going to add any fancy styling or anything like that. Okay, so in the next video, next section we are up to these counters. So let's go into our HTML and our index.html. There's our about. We were just working. So these are facts, they're calling it. So let's get our facts. And let's go to our home page in our template parts, home, and let's create a new part called facts. Paste that in. Use my intelligence extension, format.with, and in our front page, so we'll close others. And in our front page, we will duplicate that, and we will just call in our facts. So now when we reload our home page, there's our facts. So it shouldn't take long, this one. Oh, let me just switch screen because I didn't realize I'd switch screen for you. There you go. So basically we went to index.html, we copied our facts, we then created in home, we created this facts PHP, we copied that in, and then on the front page we just duplicated it like we did with the about page. Sorry, I didn't switch my screen so you can see what I was working on. Now you have, so let's get started on populating these ACF fields. So in this ACF field, we're still in the home page, and we're going to create another tab for our new section, and we're going to call that facts. Then we want these to just be repeaters. Facts, and we'll call that home facts. And in here, so if we look, we want an ACF picker, a value, and a description. So it's pretty much the same as we did up here for counters. So let's do this. So we want icon, and now let's just double check up in the counters. We returned that icon. No, not in the counters. Up in features. Sorry. The icon was returned as icon class. So that's what we're going to do the same down here. Icon, we'll call that icon. And we want to return the icon class. And then the next step next field we want is the description. No, we want the number, so we want an integer. Now, value. And then the last one we want is the description, so the title. And we want to make sure it's short, so we only do it a text field because we should need line breaks. Let's display that as we'll see how we go as a table. Presentation, we'll go the title, and we'll go add fact. With a capital A in that. Save. So we've got the icon, the number, and that. Cool. Let's update this page. You can see why I do these tabs. It makes it really easy just to navigate through. And you're not left with a big wall of content. You're only looking at the content you need for each section. Like, imagine if this was all one content. We'd have to scroll through all this just to get to the facts section. Whereas here we can go add a fact. Our icon, first icon is... Let's go into our facts. Our first icon is a certificate. So we'll search for that. Here it is. Value is years experience. Oh, sorry, our title is years experience, and our value is 1, 2, 3, 4. They are all 1, 2, 3, 4. Are they? They are all 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Second one is team members. Then we got satisfied clients as opposed to unsatisfied clients. And if we look complete projects, if I paste that in, you'll see it is a spelling error. So let's just get rid of that A in here, fix that for them. The second icon is a cog. So is it a single gear? No, it's a person with gear. Users with gears. Users gears, that's it. The next one is users. That one. And the last one is a check mark. So a tick. Is it a check or is it a tick? Let's have a look. It's a check. Cool. So now we've got that. You can see how like that's quite big compared to those. So I'm just going to update that. I'm going to go over to here, and in my facts, I'm going to display that as a block. Just because to me that looks better, looks neater. Cool. All right. So now we've got this all showing. Let's go over to our facts.php. And we want to go our facts equals get field, and we call this home facts, and it's a repeater, so by default we want to return an empty array. Then we'll go if is facts, and just to make sure that we're not going to output anything if there's no content. Okay, now that we've done that, we can see once again, like we did up in here, we are splitting them into 1, 2, 3 into chunks of 4. So if we remember what we did over in the features, we did this feature chunks. So if we do that over here, right, close. I hate when it does that to me all the time, that Copilot stuff. Fact chunks equals facts. But instead of splitting it into 3, we are splitting it into 2, 3, 4. Alright. So then in here we want to go PHP for each fact chunks as, I'm going to do a key here, I can't remember whether we did it on the other one, but I'm just going to do it anyway, as facts. And then we go down to this one, we close that out, so we make sure we don't have any errors. We always close it out straight away, then we can indent that. So now we're working in our, so chunks of 4, so if we had 5, it would be in the next one. So, and now we want to go PHP for each facts as fact, and we'll get our last one here, and we close that here, and we just comment them out for now. So now we're going to loop through each of our fact chunks, which are splitting our facts into arrays of 3. So we're going to go through, we're going to get each one of those, so we're only going to be outputting 4 per each row, and then we're going to, in those, we're going to get our fact, and we're going to output. So we should just see, so we'll see it'll be, this will appear, but it will appear 4 times. So there we go. So now, have we got any, so see how we've got this wow delay? So we're going to do the same as we did up here. So I'm going to go up to our for each key as features. So in here, oops, for each key class. So, and then we're going to output the class here. And it's for the same reason, just to make sure that we're adding a margin top. So if we have another row, it'll have a margin. The other thing, then what we needed to do was, it's in our feature, we did this. So we're not working in our feature, we're working in our fact. So we're going to get in our fact, we want the icon, which I think is, we called it a title, didn't we? We don't have a description. We have a value. All right. And then we did our delay, was just outputting that delay in seconds. Delay. Cool. So we've written. So if you remember when we were working on this function here, we had to dynamically get it so it was 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 for each delay. So rather than just go through that whole process again, I've just copied it. Just gone back into my features and copied it to what it was. Then what we need to do is in here, we want to I++. So in, is it inside the for each? Yeah, it's just inside the closing for each. So just up in here. So we just, so just resetting that I++ to the next value. All right, cool. So now, we did call it title, didn't we? Edit field group is in here. Home facts, we did call it title. So now we want to go in here, we want to output the heading, because that's what we called it. We could actually, we'll keep it consistent. Title. Then we want to, I'm just going to copy that. We want to get our value. See, this is, once again, see, it's a H1. So I'm going to give that a H2. In fact, I don't even think it needs to be a H2. I'm going to give it a H3. But I'm going to give it that class of H1. So it maintains that styling, and font size and everything, but it's not impacting on our SEO or anything like that. So now we do that. If we refresh now, we should see everything's coming in. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Cool. All right, so the only thing we've now got to do is do that icon. So in that, we just need to go in here and go, okay, and refresh that, and there we go. So let's just do all of our if statements, so we're not returning anything. If it's empty, PHP if icon does not equal empty, close that, do that, copy that, and if title does not equal empty, close that, yeah, oh no, that's value, sorry, not title. Oops. If value does not equal, and then title, alright, so we're just wrapping that in if statements, so we're not showing any that are empty. Cool. Let's do that. Now we've got all our icons, these custom values, let's just change one here. No, oops. 9999, update, refresh. You can see that's counting up to 9999. All right, so the next thing, let's add another fact. Let's just do email. Okay, maple leaf, why not? Value is 456, title is that. Let's add that in. So we're getting it in here, but we're getting that row, because when we go to full screen, it's doing 4 across, so it's putting that into the next row for us. So cool, that's all working. It wasn't that hard because it's pretty much rinse and repeat for what we did for the features up here. So that's all outputting now. So I'm just going to delete that last one that we added in, update that, refresh, and we'll be back to the 4. And we'll change this back to 2468. No, we'll just leave it as 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So just so we can see that they'll all have different values. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So now we've got all that working. The next video we will be working on will be our services. This is going to be a fun one because we are going to be creating a custom post type for these services, because they will link to a service, because we have a single service template. So we're going to work on these. We're not going to work on the single service. We're going to finish out the home page. Then we will do, when we work out the single post type. All right, cool. Well, we're going to create a post type. It's going to be fun. Loads more to do. We've got lots to get through. So let's stop this lesson and we'll get ready for the next one.